Hi, I am Jack Evans.
I gave you everything you asked of me, 'cause I'd do anything to make you happy. And when it feels like the world is caving in, you know I'll be right by your side.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the Lucha Underground star Jack Evans. Jack, we are here in Germany at WXW World Tag Team League. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing.
That's cool. We are here, as I said, at the World Tag Team League. You and your partner Angélico, he's not here unfortunately, but you two are at Lucha Underground now. How does it feel like to be a part of such an amazing product as Lucha Underground?
It's super exciting for me because it's my favorite promotion I've ever worked for, and Lucha Underground is kind of how I feel that wrestling should be marketed these days, and where it's like live action superheroes almost. Like they embrace that unreality of wrestling or lucha libre. So for me, it's the cutting edge. It's the new style of what wrestling should be, and I'm glad to be on the ground floor of something so creative and new.
So it's like a completely new concept, like a seasonal product, and that's the thing though. WWE has that injury problem right now. Finn Balor went through surgery this month. He got a shoulder surgery, and that was like a problem that WWE has in these days, like too many injuries. Is that a problem for you as a wrestler? You are a wrestler who has this high-risk style. How does that influence also the schedule of WWE with the injuries?
It's like that on all sports. Like UFC has an injury problem a lot of times too and everything. So for me personally, I have suffered some pretty bad injuries like surgery-wise, but for my style, I actually feel like I've gotten off pretty good with not very many injuries. Okay. And I credit that, and I know it's not the most masculine thing to say, but yoga, I'm actually super flexible, so I always keep that flexibility, and I think that any aspiring wrestler, seriously start stretching. I mean, obviously there's some injuries. If you just break a bone or something, no amount of doing the splits will help that, but stretching for me has been a thing. But when it comes to injuries with Lucha Underground, what I love about them is you get that time off. I'm still doing AAA and everything, but you do kind of have the season with Lucha Underground. But the other thing is, even though it's seasonal, it still incorporates a little bit of the dynamics of wrestling because I break my jaw in I don't know what season you guys are on here.
Season 3 is actual now.
Okay, well, no spoilers, but in season 3, I break my jaw, and it's totally wired shut, can't wrestle, can't talk, can't do anything, but they still find ways to use you. So with Lucha Underground, if an injury does happen, and it's not only me, it's happened to other guys, they still try to find a way to write you into the story. So even though it is a seasonal product, it still has a lot of dynamics to it, and they can rewrite stuff on not on the spot, but pretty quickly to give the crowd what they want and everything. So I think it's a perfect mix. You have that season, you have a plan for the season, which is something wrestling always needs. Sorry to babble so long, because a lot of times guys are writing week to week. They have no long-term plan. Lucha Underground has a long-term plan, but they're capable of changing things on the fly if you need, and it makes it easier on the wrestlers and less stressful if an injury does happen, because they're still going to find you something.
Okay, so
a long answer.
No problem. So it's funny you say that because Son of Havoc also said that. I interviewed him in I think it was February, and he also told exactly that. And he also named Lucha Underground as his favorite promotion he ever worked for. So that has to be true. So let's go to your tag team partner Angélico. You are here at WXW World Tag Team League with Angélico. How is it pronounced correctly? Los Guerreros del Cielo?
Los Güeros del Cielo. No, actually, I pronounced it wrong. Los Güeros de los Cielo.
Okay, I won't try that, but you know what we are referring to. So, Angélico and you, what is it like to work with Angélico?
Actually, when I was in Mexico, I got kind of I don't want to say depressed, but I just got kind of lazy about wrestling. It became a job more than something that that I enjoyed. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but then when he came around, he was actually very motivating for me because he was just like, yeah, let's do this, this, and that. And I was like, oh no, I'm in lazy mode, and he'd force me. So I always owe Angélico a lot because he gave me a second wind in my career. Like after we started tag teaming, I started taking it more seriously and trying hard again. So I'll always owe him for that. But he said, I guess, what you said in the last interview, that I'm his dream opponent in Lucha Underground, and I feel absolutely the same way because as good as a tag team as we are, I really, really think we could be better opponents.
Okay, so that's like a story wrestling told over and over again. Good friends, bitter enemies. But while you're talking about dream matches, what's your dream match if you could pick one guy of the WWE or the NXT roster right now? Whom would you pick for a dream match?
It would actually definitely be Neville, or Pac as I always know him, because there's this one time, and I always regret it, way back in PWG, I'm talking 10 years ago, then they had us wrestle, and everyone's like, this is going to be the craziest match ever, and we got so nervous, like, oh, everyone's going to call it just a spot fest, everyone's going to, so like we went out there, and we just put on like a really decent match, but like nothing what people were expecting. They wanted the craziness, they wanted the spot fest, and we didn't give it to them at all, so it definitely Neville, so that we could go crazy like we should have back in that PWG match 10 years ago. I'm living in the past, guys, I'm sorry. And he's not a part of WWE, but also Ricochet I would love to wrestle.
So Prince Puma.
The coward Will Ospreay, sorry. He stole my song along with Strickland. Uptown Funk is my song. It is not theme music, it is not something to be danced to, it belongs exclusively copyright owner Jack Evans, and I guess that Bruno Mars guy too, but...
Okay, so you are the master of trash talking. While watching matches of you, you'll notice Jack Evans will always talk. Talking is your thing, right?
You know what the weird thing is? For 90% of my career, who's this man?
I think this is a serious interview. It is no longer a serious interview. This is just me, just camera bummer.
World Traveler Angélico along with
Space Adventurer Jack Evans.
They are crushing the interview.
Now you're on my camera, Perky. I'm out. See you guys later.
So he crashed this interview. Amazing.
So anyway, back to the important people. For 90%, 95% of my career, I've always been a face, so I wasn't much of a trash talker. I was kind of that generic, come out and like dance and slap the hey. Lucha Underground forced me to be a heel, and I just was like, oh, what am I going to do? And that's when the trash talker scenario came out, because one of the things in wrestling, it's really hard to be like a smaller high flyer and be a heel, because no matter what you say to the people, if you're eventually doing all this cool stuff, they'll start to cheer you, especially like kids and younger fans. But I noticed if you do something cool and it's part of your moveset or whatever, but then you just immediately get up and go to the crowd and get on them, then you can kind of counteract that. And so as being a smaller, like high-flying heel, it was a necessity to talk crap. And then I just took it to the umpteenth level.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that, but cool. So last...
yeah, there's all these weird little things in wrestling you got to think about. Like, it is really hard to get over as a bad guy if you're a smaller high flyer, just because you do cool stuff. So that's why you'll see a lot of the bad guys in wrestling, are those big bulkier guys, because they're there to make you hate them, and it's hard.
I was surprised. I talked about it with Alex, who's standing right behind the camera right now, because they...
Alex is a sexy man. He should be on. In fact, Jonathan, get out of here. Hand the mic over. Hand the mic over.
That's the weirdest interview I've ever done. So
Get weirder.
We'll end this right now. You get 30 seconds to really say everything you want to say to the German Lucha Underground fans. Plug everything you want to plug, and then we're out of here.
I just want to say, it's kind of a generic answer, but a huge thank you for the support on Lucha Underground, because I came here to WXW and I couldn't believe that how many people knew of Lucha Underground and followed it. And so considering it's my favorite promotion, to see that kind of support and success, and thanks to you, it just means the world to not only me, but like it's everyone's favorite promotion. Come on, it means everyone. So keep supporting it. And keep supporting wrestling. Keep supporting Jack Evans, actually. Forget wrestling. Just me.
All right, so we're out of here. Thank you.
I guess, too. Sometimes.
I guess, too. So thank you very much for joining us. Peace out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.